Welcome back, family. Welcome back to What's the Juice at the GCT 1111 Energy. Channel message real quick. This is all I heard. A lot of people are very upset because you are in your lane, minding your business, okay? They don't like the fact that, um, you know, you're not out uh, having to deal with the everyday madness, okay, in businesses, wherever it is. You don't have to be in the environment, okay? This is the energy, this is the message, all right? Because you don't have to be in that type of environment, or if you are in that environment, you're unfazed, you're unbothered, because you just don't let things get to you, because you're a very high vibrational energy. A lot of people are also upset at many of your hustles, okay? Whatever it is that you do, okay? You may work a job, and then you may have a side hustle that's bringing in extra money for you or something like that. And they are really bothered at the fact that you have tapped into your higher self, and your higher self is definitely a part of your lineage, part of your history, part of your identity, okay? However that is, whatever that is, whatever you do, all right? So you got a lot of people out here, they're kind of upset at that, family, all right? So before we go any further, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes. Thank you for hanging in there with me, as yesterday was a very busy day. And whew, I mean, a full 8 hour busy day, okay? And I just was like, I'm thinking, yeah, but I had some things to get done so that I could come back to you, okay? So thank you for your like, shares, subscribes. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for hitting your notification bell as well. Also take a look at the description box, okay, so that you can pretty much see what the channel is all about for the new people, and for the family members who are finding the space again. I am so grateful for you. Let's tap in. I call upon the divine light to surround me. I invite my ancestors, guides, and protectors to stand with me and within me. No lower energy may enter this space or my temple. Only what serves truth, healing, and highest good is welcomed here, and so it is. Ashe. Okay, family. So yeah, let's see what it is about these people being so upset about whatever it is. Okay, financial strain out here. All right. So you got people that are possibly in a tight spot. Now, this is the energy I'm getting. I ain't lying. Okay. Whether some of you know it or not, okay, there are energies that are in the background, and you're going to be surprised at what these energies are doing. I feel like they are feeding off of your energy literally, and they're trying to tap into your source, unbeknownst to you type energy. Okay. Trying to tap into your source, unbeknownst to you. All right. And this could be your source of income. Okay. It says tight finances are causing stress for these energies. Okay. They're stressed, and they're stretched too thin. Okay. By burdens. I told you that was the energy. Difficult financial obligations. Like, these energies know that you might have been somebody that was out there hustling and flowing, right? Job to job to job. Some of y'all working two, three jobs, had a little side hustle, whatever, whatever, whatever. And you may have been once upon a time in this energy. Okay, where you were financially strained. Well, the divine has turned things around. Your angels, your ancestors, your spiritual guides have put you where you were supposed to be the whole time, but people were trying to get you to deviate from your path. Okay, these people are now in that same energy that you probably have been in your entire life. I feel like I'm speaking to those who ain't never had a break. You ain't never had a break. And every time you thought you were getting a break, it was just to cause you more stress. I also heard they wanted you to age fast. Because they wanted you to age fast. Okay, they wanted you to age quickly. Okay, this is the energy. So you could have been in that energy, but something, family, okay, something, someone, the divine, your angels, ancestors, your spiritual team, something. And when I say something, someone, and your spiritual team, something caused you to go through some sort of trauma, whether it was just actions of people, whether it was the energy you were getting back from people. Like, you want to show love, they want to show hate. type energy. If it was the energy of just, dealing with the everyday stress of the job, and the buffoonery on the job, and the kissing of the butts on the job while you slave your ass off type energy. And I feel like a combination of that had you go to your spiritual team, because that is innate for many of you. Okay, all of you. Okay, everybody does have the ability. Some, they tap into their side, you tap into your side type energy. But yeah, they were very upset. Okay, people were very upset because I feel like now that was you in the past. That was you going through financial strains. Okay, but now they see you, and I feel like they're like, ugh. Because their future is uncertain, and you are definitely making a way for yourself. Okay, now these are the same people that used to tap in. Now let me tell you how they used to tap in before, family. Okay, you had gang stalkers, right? So what these gang stalkers would do, it was like they were betting on you. Okay, they bet you get this job, they bet you, you know what I'm saying, on the job. They hire people to, mess with you, cause you issues, and only take it how it resonates. I mean, this is just the energy I'm picking up on. Okay, if some of you not messing with you outright directly, but definitely doing undermining things, you know what I'm saying, sitting here playing in your face, no, I put the paper over there, knowing that they kept the paper, or no, I gave it to her or him, knowing that, or no, this is a better one, I gave it to you, and you're like, no, you didn't give it to me. Yes, I did. I know I did. I know I did. You're like, I don't think so. And then you're over here looking frantically for something that was never given to you because it was given to someone else, type energy, right? See, I have never seen this card, but this is 240 card deck. At the bottom of the deck, yeah, somebody's hope got crushed, okay? Because what it was, family, the energy they wanted you to be in was a very uncertain future. Okay, for many of you, you have lived like that most of your life. I'm not saying that you've ever just had low vibrational energy, but you just kept moving forward uncertain of the future. Okay, that's been your whole life. Now they're in that energy. Okay, now they are truly, it says, um oh, let's do this. Maybe I can put some more light on it. Nah, let's do it like this, family. Okay, it says anxiety about what's next. Okay, so anxiety about what's next and hoping that you were stuck. I'm telling you, they are now stuck. A lot of people don't know what's next. You know what this energy is for me? And why I keep picking up on that, it's like a lot of people wanted, hope or wished some sort of downfall for you. This is the energy I keep getting. A lot of people hoped and wished for some sort of downfall, okay, for you. And they wanted you to have the uncertain future, etc., etc. But you have been navigating through the fog, um, with faith. Okay, this is giving me that walk by faith, not by sight energy. Okay, and you've been navigating through this fog, and you may had once upon a time you didn't have clear direction. Okay, and this may have been causing you anxiety. This may have been causing you anxiety. Now, this is their energy. I can't make it up. This is their energy. It was like people were just wishing bad on you so tough that they have found themselves in the very same situation, or they have found themselves in that energy of uncertainty. Their hopes have been crushed. This is crazy. Spirit is speaking today, okay? These people's hopes have been crushed. They're feeling defeated, unable to win. They feel that they have to cheat to win. So see where they were getting, your gang stalkers have been on you for a long time. And when I say that, I mean like, your bosses, your coworkers, they all were getting a check to fuck. Oops, I'm gonna say it, to fuck with you, and in a negative way. Stress you out on the job, gaslight you, make it seem like they was all good and friendly with you the whole time. They was just looking for your downfall, and then you go on the job really working because that's what you have always done, while they just sit back and kick it. right? And I don't mean like kick it. They would be working. Yeah. They know there's the end of the road. I can't believe it. Yeah. They would be working, but your work and their work is different. This is the energy, okay? Like you really be working. Okay, you keep your head down, you stay focused on what you got to do, and you know what I'm saying. And then but then they also had a lot of distract. Like there were a couple jobs where I was like, "Fuck, I don't already raise my kids. I don't need to be sitting with kids." But you just was like, witchy type. Wanna have something bad to say, but they already knew what it was. You was getting it. Ah, you was getting it. Facts. Okay. Facts. And you got it so much to where, when you did leave, they went on and gave that money to someone else. But hey, it's okay. Because that has always been them. They've always fed off of you financially. Okay. But yeah, now their hopes are crushed. Period. Okay. And it's the end of the road. It's the end of the road. And they know this. They feel this. Okay. It says, yeah, relationships or projects are coming to a avoidable end. Coming to a, yeah, avoidable end. I mean, it's not like unavoidable. Maybe they could try to avoid it, but no. It's coming to it's to me unavoidable, okay? And with this, I heard that spirit, and with this being an avoidable end, it's like they brought this on themselves type energy. It could have been avoided. It really could have. All they had to do was just, embrace you, chill with you. I mean, not, no, no, take it back. I don't mean like literally come hang out with you, but just, flow with your energy. You know what I'm saying? You are a loving person and you love all. But see, when you get that backlash all the time and people look down their nose at you all the time and you've experienced that for so long, and I don't care who you are, it can happen to you. Trust me. Let me explain something to you, family. See, everybody wants to pit things on that race stuff, right? Spirit told me the other day it had nothing to do with race. It had everything to do with status quo. It had everything to do with the hierarchies and where you were in the chain, and you know what I mean. You got people that hail from all nationalities. Okay, I'm not playing, from all nationalities that are in this chain trying to get up here, right? In this little cattle thing. Okay, like moo, I'm saying, cows and shit, right? And you're like, damn. Everybody who was down, or at least they felt like they were down socially, um, status quo energy, they're too busy trying to climb this hierarchy. And it's like, I don't like saying that word. I don't like saying lower class because I don't feel like anybody is lower anywhere. It's just, how can I explain this? It's the energy of how you look at things, how you embrace things, how you know what I'm saying, look at it from a different perspective. Like you could see it like beating up on yourself for the trolls and the karmics that watch, right? But then if you changed that perspective a little bit, right? And didn't look at it like that, because that's why people pit each other against each other, right, family? It's like, oh well, you're a group over here, you're a group over there, and it's like, nah, we're all one, first and foremost. Okay, it's just, where are you at in your life, where are you at in your mindset, where are you at when it comes to your pure clear intentions, if you even have any. Kind of that energy of stand for something, fall is, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for everything type energy. These people know that they could have, really participated. And when I say participate, I just mean in the respect, in the really allowing you to, thrive next to them. But instead they put you in these, oh, you're lower class. That's what they be saying. Y'all lower class, or we're upper class. We the upper echelon. Okay. Now they know that their hopes are crushed because this could have been an unavoidable end. Mm-hmm. There may be nowhere else for them to go, and the end is here. Mm-hmm. and there's nothing left. Because see, here's oh damn, I just heard that. Damn, spirit. Shit, the rich. hmm They don't give a damn about what color you are. Okay, it's that pocketbook, baby. I promise you. And and then a lot of the rich, they know so much. Let me tell you, these elite people, they hold so much knowledge, okay? Because they have been the ones that were placed in leadership roles to keep the matrix going, to keep the lies going, okay? But as soon as that broke, as soon as the veil was lifted, look who took over. I said, all right then. I mean, the filthy, filthy, okay? The filthy, filthy rich took over. And let me tell you why they took over, okay, family? Is because they already knew that people were out here monkey branching, all right, when messing with the heart of gold. But this is the first thing that came out, and then that. So somebody right here, look, there's a whole message. Listen, somebody is really sexually attracted to you. Okay. Now, I know this energy's here for real. Because I can feel it. Now, I don't get out much, but when I do get out and I am around people, family, right, I do pick up energy. hmm And the energy I pick up is like I get the energies of some people. They hatred, they mad, they rolling their eyes, they pissed off. Okay, and then I get this other energy where they're like, there's a better person. I don't. It's not like a better person, but it's like they're a better version of what they used to be. Um, you have like a lot of energy around that kind of want to see who you are. I don't know what that is about, but I have picked up on that too. Like people want to know who you are, right? They want to see what it is about you, okay? Some of these people may even put you through some things, test you on some stuff, right? Just to see. They ain't that smart. You like shit. I ain't tripping though. Don't let that go of your head, family, right? You ain't around here trying to make it seem like you're extra smart, extra this, extra that. You just an everyday person sitting there looking like la 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 type energy, right? And you're very patient and you wait for things, and and then here comes the where you're like, I just spent what and you did what, and then here's where they get to see, okay, why is this person attracted to you in such a way, not just sexually, but I also feel like they personality energy, right? They're attracted to you because you're no dummy, okay? These energies up here, they're like, how you get in? I promise you, that's what Spirit just said. How you get in, right? They want to see, how is it that you got in? How is it that somebody, you know what I'm saying, looks at you the way they look at you? Let's read it. Yeah, an electric charming. Yeah, an electric chemistry, electric charming chemistry. Okay, can't get enough of each other physically. Okay, too hot to handle attraction. Somebody's like, how you get in? This one I'm here. They want to know. They want to know, how'd you get in? With this financial strain and the way he's looking, yeah, how'd you get in? Okay, because you have a heart of gold. Because you have a heart of gold. Someone with pure intentions. Didn't I just say that? Like, you don't be having no ill will. I promise you, you don't. Ill will is the most negative energy, and it takes too long to even try to. I promise you, I'd rather sit back and chill. Oh, wow. I heard that loud and clear. I'm not going to say that. I'd rather sit back and chill, right? And just go with the flow than to be trying to figure out how to scheme and how to hurt someone and how to, make somebody else's life a living hell because that was their new implementation of how to hurt you, how to, keep you lower than them. Okay. they are attracted to you, not just physically, but emotionally, because you have a heart of gold. You've always had pure intentions. And you have shown others people's true color as well as yours, right? And I'm going to talk about from the perspective of that color like that. I'm saying like your aura is made up of several different colors. Your energy is like a energy field. Okay. Like these little yoga over here I have, and somebody's like, "Oh, yoga is witchcraft." Man, yoga is stretching your ass out. Shit, shut up. I'm like, what? I mean, you just stretch. You pull your spine, you get your hips rolling. But nevertheless, but as I have these yoga statues, they're all different kinds of colors, right, mixed together. Kind of reminds me of the '70s, like those hippie splash. Oh man, what can I call it right now? The all the different colors splash, looking like paint or rainbow, or that's the energy. And you've always had that. You've always had pure intentions. You've always shown people your true color, and they have shown you theirs, right? And you've always been exceptionally kind and generous. That's why. See, they know their future. Had they followed the flow, it would be looking different. Okay, but instead they were monkey branching. Hmm. Taking from, and I'm just going to say, going from one relationship, taking from one relationship, giving to another energetically, whether it was positive or negative. I feel like you were doing this from the positive perspective, they were doing it from a very negative perspective. Okay. And it was like what they were passing on was nothing to do with healing. It had nothing to do with healing, okay? It had nothing to do with being a caring energy. It had nothing to do with a representation of the Most High God. It had everything to do with resentment from past relationships. These past relationships is giving me like lineage handing off bullshit to the next generation. Message 2228 222. Okay? So, in them doing that, yeah, their hopes, they're crushed. And yes, everything is coming to an end. And it could have been an avoidable end. hmm It could have. But they want to know, why is this person, what is it about you? Here's what it is about you. It's your winning streak, because your winning streak just doesn't come from trying to get a trophy. Your winning streak just doesn't come from trying to, outdo somebody. Your winning streak comes from internally what is within you and what you show. Within, so without, right? And you have been calm, you have been patient, you have been loving, you have been kind, and then at the end of the day, here they come with the fuckery. Here they come monkey branching. Because they was resentful. They were resenting the fact that, and these people, I'm telling you, they've been leeching and latching off of you. hmm For a very long time. Yeah. You've always been this winning streak energy. That's why this person is attracted to you. And that's why they feel you have a heart of gold, because the way you give, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't mind. You don't mind, like, yesterday, right, y'all, this is embarrassing. I don't want to say it. But I saw a young man looking at a menu right outside the building. Because the spot I was at, they have a menu on the outside, right? So he was standing there looking at it, right? Now let me tell you, this is crazy. And this is a true story, okay? I'm not making it up. So here I am, and I just got to keep it 100 with you, family, right? I looked over and I was like, damn, he's so fucking skinny to me. And I'm thick, thicker than a snicker, okay? And I'm a mama, so we gonna check, baby, you eating, right? So this young man, he's standing there, he's looking at the menu, and I'm like, damn, I want to buy his food for him, because I don't know why I felt like Spirit, Spirit was making me want to buy him something to eat. Okay, so don't judge me, right? Because I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm human too. Okay, I still be having to work on things. I'm not supposed to sit there and look at anybody and judge, right? But he was thin to me. He was thin to me. Okay, and I'm upset at that. I'm like, oh Lord, I gotta feed him. Okay, but he went in with some friends and he came out first. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, he's he's he went in quick. Now this place, I didn't like it. You had to go up there. There's a kiosk you got to order from. I said, oh, fuck. In a minute, they just gonna have the robots back there like poop, 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 putting your shit together. They're already doing it in some places, right? But I was just like, okay, right. So he went in and came out pretty quick. I was in there on the board like, oh my God, what is this? Why is this type energy? Okay. Nevertheless, he comes out, he's standing there looking at the thing, and I'm sitting here, family, and I'm like, damn, I want to, figure out if he needs something to eat, but without insulting, right? So as he's walking past me, I'm like, so, hey, what are you getting ready to eat, right? Okay, that's all that came out. I was like, thank God, Spirit, you were here. Because I didn't know what to say. And he was like, oh, I'm going to get like this a lamb wrap. And I thought, oh, yes. Okay, cool. He's about to get something. And then he's like, yeah, he's like, it's like $20 for that. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And he's like, what are you eating? So I told him, and I was like, yeah, well, mine's with a drink and tax. It came to like 26. And I'm just thinking, right? But as he's standing there talking to me, right, I caught a whiff of like this cologne. And I thought to myself, damn, is that coming from him? Because here I am looking at him like, oh my God, he's skinny. And did it, yeah, no. Okay. So it was like, see, Spirit was like, see. And I mean, he was the kindest sweetheart, y'all. Okay. He was the sweetheart of all sweethearts. Younger, I could tell him and his buddies. I could also tell he's extremely intelligent, like smarter than a motherfucker, right? But that was my way of confirming he's going to get something to eat. Okay. And I was hoping maybe he could, if he needed it, he would have hinted it to me, right? But I feel like, that is what he was doing, was just sitting there looking at it. But then, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back in here with my buddies and, go on and get some. But I'm just hoping that is what took place, okay? Because when I smelled his cologne, and because I was shocked, right? Because I was like, I smell cologne. And I'm like, where'd that come from? Because I'm sitting outside. Okay, I was sitting outside. But nevertheless, it was like, you stay in a winning streak energy. And I just shared that with y'all because I don't know why, but I did. You stay in a winning streak energy. And I don't mean like you trying to win a trophy or nothing, because it doesn't even matter what anybody else thinks. And I was just out there really, not really by myself. There was another group of young kids over here. And then, but I feel like you're always in that energy of, keeping others in mind. Okay. For those of you who are resonating with this, you're really always in that energy of trying to keep somebody else in mind. And, and I was so embarrassed because I did not know how to ask him. I didn't just want to come out and be like, I want to buy your food, and that would look weird. Okay, he'd be looking at me like, who in the hell? What the hell's wrong with this woman? And and I'm not a sugar mama at all, but he was just standing to me, y'all. I don't like that. I don't, I mother energy. We be like, you got to eat. Okay. We be like, you got to eat, okay? Maybe somebody's resonate with this, maybe not. But to me, I'm like, mm-mm. And I'm not saying being thin is anything wrong with that. No, not at all. Not at all, family. Because, hey, in his culture, it is normal to be. I bet you he was ripped under them clothes, though. I guarantee it, type energy, right? But he just had on a really baggy clothes, and it just had me disturbed. Okay, being thin, nothing wrong with it. Okay, Some cultures believe like the thicker you are, the healthier you are, and I'm going to tell you why. That is kind of like the energy. I had a lady one time tell me when I started losing a lot of weight, she was like, "Ooh, baby, let me tell you something." She's like, "Not everybody looks good then." I was like, shoot. I promise you, family, that's exactly what she said. She was like, She was like, "Girl, you losing weight." And I was like, "I know." And she was like, "Not everybody looks good then." And I said, "So what are you saying?" And she was like, "Baby, if anything happens, you got sick." She was like, "Shit, you ain't gonna be able to lose no weight. You gonna be gone." I was like, "Damn." Okay, because your body eats off of itself when it realizes it's not getting the nutrients or nutrition. So your body will turn inward and start consuming whatever it can from you. Okay, message. Okay, so I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, baby, I got to feed you. Mama got to feed you." I ain't lying, but and I was okay with that. I'm hoping that that was the case, you know. But when I caught a whiff of his cologne, I went, thinking to myself, this, oh, okay, let me shut up. You know what I'm saying? But it smelled. I just heard that word. It smelled rich. I didn't know cologne could smell rich. But okay. They just smell good to me. But Spirit just said it smelled rich. Family, you this winning streak. Okay? Everything you touch, I promise you, it does turn to gold in some sort of kind of way. Okay? It really does. Especially for those that have pure, clear intentions and they ain't coming in raggedy. Man, that kid, let me tell you, he was like, "Oh, can I come under here?" Because where the patio was and it was dropped down like this, the kind of things that they roll down and they can, cover it in, etc. Whatever that thing's called. Y'all know what it is, okay? So he stepped under it, and I mean, he just had this energy, man, no judgment. No judgment. The kid, and then there was another kid yesterday and I was like, okay, the energy I'm picking up from these two, I met two. And then there were three, okay, five altogether, okay. I had to handle some business, y'all. Okay, I locked myself out and my little computer and other things happened, and that's why I wasn't on yesterday. Okay, long story short, and I had to get it fixed. Okay, and where I went to get the computer fixed, there was a kid there, and his energy was no judgment, and it was strange for me to feel that. Not strange, but where I'm at it, it was strange for me to feel that. Also, the kids to the right of me, there were a group of kids. It's a younger generation. They don't look at you, or they're not looking at anyone the way that maybe their ancestors were looking at people. Okay, a very different type of energy. Okay. He was in there getting some things fixed. I was thinking like, okay, cool. And his energy was like, "Hi, yeah." I mean, like the kid was tall, dressed like man, his total gear was on point, okay? Kind of like western-ish, but hip, okay? Very bubbly energy, very bubbly to me too. Not like giddy, but he would have stood there and had a conversation with me, okay? But he was in the, he was in the in movement, okay? They were in motion, okay? But I could pick up it immediately. He passed no judgment. The same young man that I was speaking to at the restaurant, pass no judgment. The four that were over there on the other table, younger generation, pass no judgment. This is what I'm saying. Like these energies, they on a winning streak. Somebody need to follow their lead. Now, everybody that I came across that was past the judgment, I promise you, this is exactly what they did. False promises. Because they were in this resentment mood, right? They were pissed off to know that I was getting my computer fixed And I didn't even say it. I didn't even tell nobody what I have been called to do. Okay, I didn't even tell nobody. But I guarantee you, the gang stalkers did. As soon as they got whiff of where I was in location, because I ain't lying, y'all, I turned everything off. I put the phone on airplane mode and got to moving. As soon as I took that phone out of airplane mode, oh yeah, they came swarming to where I was. Okay? I promise you they did. They came swarming to where I was. Even the employees. I said, I ain't never seen this many people up in here in jackets. Suit jackets, right? Because they was like, shit, man, we got to get connected to that. We got to get connected to that. Because shit, in the background family, they been stealing at 35, 37. Oh, 35, 35, 36, 37. Okay? They been stealing. Facts. Okay, family? I promise you. Making them false promises. Okay? I'm like, you were supposed to do this and do that. And the guy's looking at me like, no, 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 I just re-imaged it. Why would you fucking re-image it? I'm like, could you just wipe this motherfucker and put this back together and then I'll do the rest? No, I just re-imaged it. Why would you re-image it? Because they were staying connected. They were staying connected. False promise didn't fix shit, but I paid for it though, right? Okay, cool. And wait, Spirit said, do not say that. I am grateful. This one I'm going to tell you. Out of yesterday's experience, even though I was upset, like, what? Oh, man, come on. Why would you do that? You know, why would you have my shit connected to Wi-Fi and make sure not all the security is up there? That's because, you was doing what you was doing. You was doing what you was doing. You was doing what you've always done. I said, no problem. At first, y'all, I was so mad I had to go sit in the car. I sat in the car and was just like, Spirit was like, instead of tripping out, we'll just go back in there, explain your concerns, and point things out, let them see. And then, because see, I bought a package. I bought something to where if anything happens, I would just be able to go in there, right? But as I was sitting there, I was watching people come back with their shit. I ain't gonna front. I seen more people carrying their shit in than I seen people buying. And I was like, damn, everybody is in here bringing their shit back. I ain't gonna front. And I thought to myself, oh boy. Then I said, Divine, I'm in your hands. I'm gonna let everything go. So literally, I paid for it about 1:30, and I didn't get it till like almost 4 or 5 o'clock, and then I had to make all kinds of adjustments. I didn't go to sleep until 2 a.m. this morning, and I was like, probably about 3. I'll say about 3:30 ish, maybe 3. About between 2:30 and 3. Let's just say that. I can't call it, and I'm not gonna try to lie either, but definitely after 2 a.m. And I was tired, y'all. I was so tired. But nevertheless, you know, it got done, right? But I was like, why would you do this? Because, these energies out here, they've been feeding off you your whole life. So now they're trying to figure out how to feed off of whatever else you're doing or you've been called to do. And because many of you are all the way up in your lane for real. Like, that's where you're supposed to be. Okay? Take it how it resonates and only if it resonates. Okay? But you are where you're supposed to be. These people were pissed. So false promises be flying, okay? The comments made, yeah. Oh, I've got you. I'm gonna do this. Okay, cool. Then I'm like, look, I'm like, can I speak to the manager, please? Because when I went to the car and I just like, like my poor little car was probably like, oh, here's the. I had to burn. Look, get your sage out. Get to burn your sage, right? I come back in, I'm like, I need the manager. And he's like, well, yeah, no, well, and I'm showing him, well, sir, you left this open and these weren't, this wasn't activated while you were connected to your Wi-Fi. And then it's not just the three, it's three. of your Wi-Fi is with you. There should only have been one. So, and that's because three things are running at once, right? And then I was like, well, what computer is that? He was like, oh, that computer right there, removing a virus. I said, but why is my shit sitting so close to it though? That shit, that me, Spirit was like, good, point it out, point it out. I was like, to me, yeah, that's transferable. It could definitely be transferable. Connecting to near by device type energy shit. Okay. You feel me, family? You feel me? You know where I'm going with that, right? 4008, 400708, 4011. Okay, type energy, right? So I was like, ugh. Okay, immediately heart sunk. I was like, oh, okay. Even though you point out all that, the guy's like, well, I'm not going to refund you. I said, okay, cool, not a problem. You don't have to refund me for that. Okay, cool, not a problem. But you're going to refund me for this. I'm not going to pay $139 for your so-called tech support that does phones and computers. And then when I call the people about the phone, because I know that shit's been tapped and hit, okay? I call the people about the phone. They're like, oh, only the store can fix it. But when I walk back into the store, they're like, oh, no, we don't do anything with Androids. We only do things with iPhones. I said, damn, that's biased. That's why all y'all walking around with a little itty bitty phone you could barely fucking see, whereas an Android, it's going to give you a phone where you can fucking see. I don't care what nobody say. Oh, and for the iPhone users, no, nothing against you at 4111, okay? Nothing against you per se. But I'm just saying, every damn iPhone I see, y'all, I be looking at that shit like, God damn, how you seeing on that screen? You see how big this screen is, family? Like you can really see. Those iPhones be like half the size. Half the size. And I'm like, what is it? And everybody's like, oh, they're more secure and this and that. No, that motherfucker will lock you the fuck out for real. I heard somebody tell me a long time ago, man, you get an iPhone at 4144. You get an iPhone, if you forget your password or whatever the case may be, you're shit out of luck. You're shit out of luck. And when they told me that, now wait for it. They wanted me to feel like you're shit out of luck too with an Android because man, y'all, I done been through 6 phones. Facts. I got the box for every last one of them motherfuckers. Since the takedown of all being 11 energy. They was like, we gonna put her ass in an iPhone, whether she likes it or not. I'm like, shit, I already having problems with a goddamn Android. You ain't about to stick me in no shit. Okay? I've always looked at iPhone users as Mac people. They love their Macs. Okay? Android users, we love our basic PC Windows. It's real simple type shit. Why? Because it's clarity. And it brings us clarity. Okay? Type energy. But listen, these people's like, nah, motherfucker, you got to get you an iPhone. I said, shit. Not at the prices they spending for them damn phones. Are you crazy? Y'all, an iPhone is like 17 months, maybe a little less. iPhone is like groceries for a year to me. Maybe even, maybe a year and some months. Okay, $1,700-$1,800 for a fucking iPhone? Are you kidding me? That's like $120-$130 a month of groceries for me. The fuck you mean? I'm not about to be doing that and then get an itty bitty little screen and all their icons is on the fucking page and you got all kinds. You see this? I ain't got to look at shit if I don't want to, fam. Look, little icon thing right there. Okay, pop your little stuff up for you. You feel me? Like real simple shit, right? The Spirit is saying, that's why their lives are confusing because they got too much to look at once. Ooh wee. Yeah, so false promises were made, right? I was told one thing, something else happened. Okay, cool, whatever. Then I paid for it. I say, shit, okay, don't trip. Because you're right. I'm not saying I want my money back because he wiped it. Yeah, he installed some bullshit too. Okay. He did a lot of things he wasn't supposed to do. Not a problem. Uh, but I ain't gonna buy you a $139 plan to come back up in here like everybody else keep coming back up in here. I'm being told on the phone, you're going to work on the phone at the store, but then you tell me you don't work on Androids. I'll do iPhones, though. I said, damn, oh, ain't this a bitch? I wish I would. type energy. Okay. So false promises there. Okay. Intentions of keeping them too. Okay. Intentions on keeping them false promises. Okay. And it was very disappointing and it broke trust. Well, that's what these people have been. They broke trust with somebody who has always had this type of winning streak energy. And I don't mean my example to say I'm a winning streak energy, but shit, man, I'm gonna tell you, galactic beings that's been walking and living through this matrix, if you ain't never sold yourself out, man, shit, you a winning streak energy. And when I say sold yourself out, I mean like, whew, doing anything and everything just to be liked by these people, and doing other people wrong just to be liked by these people, or trying to fit in just to be liked by these people. Right now, the manager that comes up, I'm sitting there, and the guy was like, oh yeah, you don't gotta be here, you could go, it's gonna be a while. First he told me, oh, it's just a few more minutes. I said, oh, okay, great. Then it turned into a while. That's why I was like, oh yeah, here we go. Everybody want to run in and connect to my shit. Message. I was like, oh, damn. Right? I was seeing the shit go down. I'm watching the shit go down. Spirit is telling me, pay attention, 4557, pay attention. I was like, I am. And I'm sitting here cringing on the inside, watching folks come in because they like, man, shit, we could make us up a fake ass channel and shit, and steal some of their views, or steal some of their this is the energy. Now, I'm not saying that that's really what happened, but trust me, something like that, right? That's what they thought, right? The fuck you mean? Spirit was like, pay attention. I paid attention to a lot. I seen more jackets come up in there, literally suit jackets come up in there. Then when I blew my stack, and I didn't blow it like that, y'all, but I did. I was like, man, look at this. I said, you mean to tell me y'all left this and you connected to your Wi-Fi and didn't turn on all the security, and you had my computer sitting next to a fucking computer that's already got a virus on it, so now y'all want to latch in and put your shit on there too? Get the fuck out of here. That's how I felt. That's what it was, 4700. Spirit was like, pay attention. So these were the people that made the false promises, family. I said, don't worry about it. You don't got to give me that money back. You're right, but I ain't going to pay for this $139 plan. You can get that back. Yeah. Now they see why this energy has an effortless attraction to you, because I feel like there is somebody that does observe you, and they see that you see. They know that you see. They know that you see everything. Even when you don't speak on it, you see it. They know this, okay? So they see why energies are effortlessly attracted to you. And those are the positive ones, okay? Like the kids are, and no, I ain't into no damn kids. Them kids was 20 some years old. I'm 52. I wish I would have. Fuck, I have raised children. Okay, but the energy of these younger generations I came across was not judgmental. The ones that are still on that resentment type energy, the ones that are mad, that feel that they're superior to everyone type energy, yeah, they're still resentful, right? But they could see why people are effortlessly attracted to you, because you attract positive things without trying, period. You're a magnet for it. You be pulling without force. And people are drawn to you. And that's what it is. So now they see that. They're like, oh, damn, okay. They're not that stupid. No, you ain't stupid. I tell people, I just look like this. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm putting myself down, but, shit, family, when you done been through a lot of shit, you just look at shit like, fuck. Oh, shit. Okay. Spirit, God, the divine creator of all living things, you gonna take care of me. I'm just gonna let this shit ride. You know what I'm Yeah, that is the energy, okay? For real. So now they've been able to witness it. They like, well, what's so special about you? What's so special about you? Why is whoever is attracted to you physically, attracted to your heart of gold, your winning streak type energy? Because here's when I say winning streak, family. A winning streak is never giving up. You gonna fail at things, you gonna fall, there's gonna be all types of shit that happens to you, but the moment you lose is the moment you give up. So I'm not saying winning streak like, oh, I'm all that. Nah, 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 nah. Hell to the no. No, no. That's like conceited type. No. Mm-mm. The winning streak energy is you never giving up. Like you may fall 100 times, but you gonna keep going. You gonna keep getting up. You gonna keep going. You don't give a damn. You gonna figure it out. You gonna pray about it. You gonna sit down. You gonna listen to spirit. You gonna get it. That's that winning streak energy. Okay. And now people see why someone is definitely effortlessly attracted to you, because you ain't no dummy and you're not willing to just give up. And for whatever and whoever this is going to resonate with, that's been who you've been your entire life. Your entire life. That's why at the bottom of the deck, yeah, it does. It takes two to tango. It really does. And in this energy, you've got people where, yeah, both are at fault. Okay. And let me tell you why. Okay. I can hear that. I ain't at fault. That shit. Yeah. For allowing people to abuse you for so long, knowing good damn well and I'm not saying, be conceited, but you have always been somebody held in high honor when it comes to the Most High God, your angels, ancestors, and your spiritual team. And as God views you, you should have been viewing yourself. But you weren't on your path. You weren't on your journey at that time, family. Okay? You were too busy in the matrix, because that's exactly what it is. Had you thinking you had to do something these people's way, when their way was the lineage of evil. The lineage of evil's way. Okay, it says here both are at fault. Okay, and the lineage of evil's at fault, and you were at fault for not realizing. Some of you didn't realize that you was living in this bull crap matrix for a minute. You were just a person, and it says here no one person is innocent, but then I saw you were a person of innocence, because you didn't know you was playing this game. Okay, these energies over here knew. They were trying to make you feel some sort of guilt for even being where you were, right? There were many perpetrators, and there's many guilty parties when it came to doing what they was doing to you. Take it how it resonates. Okay, let me get a closing message, Spirit. A sunk cost fallacy. Okay, stays in a situation that's no longer beneficial. Okay, not admitting it's over and holds on tight for nothing. That's where they're at. See, because they're still trying to hold on to you in some sort of kind of way, because they already know. They see what's happening. They see what's happening. Their ancestors spoke to them about what would happen. And that is their biggest fear. Oh my God. The ones that were beneath us are rising. Huh. Grandma told you. They grandmama told them. Okay, but shit, let me tell you, this is the meeting of the ancestors. Okay, your ancestors, wherever they may be, I feel like spiritually all around you, your ancestors have been talking to their ancestors like, see, this is what we talking about. You better talk to your kids. You better talk to them ones that are still pushing the negative narrative, because all they're doing is hurting their younger generation. Some of their younger generations that were hell bent on making sure we keep a foot down on you. You about to fuck yourself up. Message. Okay? Yeah. Their grandmamas and your grandmama told you about this energy. Yeah. Older figures who help you. These should have been the older figures that helped them. And they did for a very long time. But your grandmothers, your grandfathers, take it how it resonates, okay? Grandma, older figure who helps you out. Someone who loves you dearly without judgment and a wise soul. You not only hung with your grandmama, for some of y'all, but your grandmother was like really, really your mom for many of you, and not taking nothing from your mothers, but your mother and your grandmothers had significant roles in your life. Okay, you learned from both at 5450. Okay, but your grandmother, that was the root. Those were the roots of your foundation. Your great aunts, for some of you, okay, but mainly the grandmothers were the roots of your foundation. And many of you have that old soul energy, that old soul spirit, okay, because you were so close to your grandmothers, you took in everything they said and did not say. Because it was like you knew. When you know, right? So where my grandmother used to always say, that's just the way it is. And I used to get so mad at her, right? And I'd be like, no, you just gave up. Y'all gave up. Y'all didn't stay with the fight. Okay, that's how I used to. When she would say that to me, it would burn me up because I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that rebuke, clear, cancel, release. I mean, like fire energy as I am, I would be on fire, pissed off, upset, irritated, like yesterday, right? Okay, upset, irritated. Your grandparents, their grandparents, everybody knows what's cracking. Everybody knows what's been going on. So they're upset. Okay? They're upset because they are uncertain about the future that you've been knowing about. But you've given these people well enough time to just come on and get with the program, but they refuse to. They refuse to. These are people that will never change, family. Okay? So I'm going to leave that message here. Take it how it resonates. Thank you for tapping in. I love you and the divine loves you. Okay? Thank you for your likes, shares, and your subscribes. Thank you for hitting that notification bell. Thank you for sharing the messages. Thank you for joining the channel. Thank you for all contributions, okay, and bringing positivity in. I am truly grateful. All right. So thank you for being here. Let's close out. I release the matrix and its betrayal and deception. I stand rooted in my truth as I call back my power. I am whole, I am becoming, and so it is. Ashe. And until next time, you guys have a magnificent day. Ashe.